John Cody. I'm the Colonel with the Maine State Police. This has been a tough day. It's been a tragic day for the Campbell family with the loss of Detective Ben Campbell. And it's been a tough day for our agency. We've lost one of our very best, and we've certainly lost one of Maine's very best. Today's incident started around 7:30 on I-95 in Hamden, right around mile marker 179 southbound. While traveling to instruct training, Detective Campbell came across a vehicle that had spun out, was in the breakdown lane and partially obstructing the travel lane. He stopped there to render assistance and recognized that due to the slippery conditions and the location of the incident, it was in a bad location, and asked for another trooper to come and provide some backup lighting. While that trooper was en route, a loaded 6-axle log truck, tractor-trailer combination approached the scene where Detective Campbell was assisting that motorist. Unrelated to the roadside incident, and what I think can only be considered bizarre timing, 2 wheels separated from the tractor-trailer as it approached Detective Campbell and that vehicle. One of those wheels rolled harmlessly into the median. The other wheel rolled and struck Detective Campbell as he was outside of his vehicle in the breakdown lane. The tire continued and struck the vehicle that he was assisting. He received grave injuries as a result of the impact, and despite the best efforts of many EMS, fire, police that responded to assist him, he would later succumb to his injuries. They treated him there, did the best he could before he was transported by ambulance to Eastern Maine Medical Center, where he was pronounced dead. Our job now is to take care of the family. Ben had a young wife, Hillary, a young boy, Everett, only 6 months old, and our efforts now have been to focus on supporting them and helping through this unspeakable grief that they are going through right now. The truck involved did stop after passing. We're doing the normal investigative protocols that come with a fatal motor vehicle crash. The driver of that truck was 52-year-old Scott Willett, spelled with a W, 52 years of age, from Patton, and he's the owner-operator of that truck, Willett Trucking. Our commercial vehicle unit officers have inspected that truck. Mr. Willett was taken for a blood test, which is again normal protocol surrounding fatal crashes. And we don't have a lot of the results of that investigative work at this point, and we'll try and make that available as we can. Right now, our focus is on taking care of our members. Ben Campbell was one of our very best and well-liked, and this is going to be a loss. In speaking with the family, they have requested full line of duty death honors. We'll start working on those plans over the next several days, try and keep people involved and informed of those plans as they come together. I can't thank the number of people from many different agencies that have reached out and expressed their condolences to the Campbell family and to our department. And we know that together we'll get through this, but it's been a tough day. Right now, Detective Campbell, give you some biography on him. He joined the state police in 2012, was originally a trooper assigned to Northern Penobscot County as a member of Troop E. He was promoted to detective in 2016 and was a member of our state police polygraph unit. Again, he's survived by his wife Hillary, their 6-month-old son Everett, and they live in the town of Millinocket. Ben would have been 32 on Monday. He grew up in East Hampton, Massachusetts, and was a graduate of Westfield State College. Our officers remain right now with Ben and the Campbell family at Eastern Maine Medical Center as we're awaiting the arrival of other family members from Massachusetts who are being relayed here by a combination of Massachusetts State Police and their gracious efforts to provide transportation, and members of our own agency that are bringing them here so that they can view and be with Ben and the remaining Campbell family members before eventually later this evening he'll be transported in a procession to the medical examiner's office in Augusta. And again, that's normal protocol of these types of incidents. As the time of that procession is known, as we get a better ETA of that, we will do our best to push that out so you're aware of the timing of that. That's what I've got. I can take a handful of questions. I'll do my best to answer them.
Colonel, do you believe that this is a freak accident?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know any other way to call it. You know, the indications are that the truck had moved lanes or was in the process of moving lanes. The timing of it, the way things would have to line up to have this occur, bizarre is the only word I can think of, and it just has really left every one of us just shaking our head. It defies explanation.
Do you believe weather at all played any factor?
But certainly weather this morning caused that initial spin out. It was just beyond a bridge, which again, you know, we're familiar with bridges freeze first. We do believe road conditions caused the initial incident that caused Detective Campbell to stop and render assistance. But the separation of the wheels from that vehicle, we have no reason to believe that's weather related.
Can you take us through the process from here with this wheel separating from the vehicle? Where do you go trying to figure out how that happened and why it happened?
Yeah, our commercial vehicle unit, very gifted at autopsies of vehicles and inspections of vehicles, and they will take a bumper-to-bumper look at that truck, its undercarriage, the driver's credentials, any log information, things like that, and they'll look for those signs and symptoms of what may have resulted in this separation. I know that they've been working really hard on that truck. Again, they're very skilled at that, and they will give it a very good inspection. But the results of that I certainly don't have for you today.
Colonel, was Detective Campbell driving a state police vehicle, and did he have on his lights at the time when he was pulled over? He
did. Although he has an unmarked Explorer SUV, he was there with his blue lights operating, and was positioned his vehicle in an effort to shield the citizen he was assisting to prevent another impact of that vehicle.
So this was that person that he was assisting.
They've been interviewed. Unfortunately, they saw, the full force of the incident, and were one of the first 911 calls that came in, and that call really was the turning point of our response there. Officers that were responding thinking they were just going to give, kind of routine assistance to get down to one lane there and to help slow approaching traffic. And suddenly we knew it had taken a turn for the worst.
And is that person's identity being kept at this point? And
I don't have that as I stand right here, but that person has been interviewed. They were not injured, but I don't have that name for you right now.
So this was not a case of failure to move over, because there have been a few of those this last winter.
Nothing leads us to believe that any structural part of that truck, the tractor or the trailer, struck our officer, that it was the separation of this wheel and tire assembly.
Was the wheels from the back of the trailer?
I don't know which axle they separated from. I don't know. I'm sure our commercial vehicle guys could tell me that. I've not had time to really get the full briefing on this from our people. Again, our focus right now has really been to be alongside the Campbell family right now.
Colonel, this is the first line of duty death for your department in over a decade. For your officers, how do you get through something like this?
We've got some really strong people, and we have a very unique connection. And although we are a large agency, we're very small. You know, we know each other, we know wives and kids, and we're hurting, there's no doubt. And our members assistance team is made up of troopers from throughout the state. We've had them respond here, because it's always good to take some troopers that aren't, you know, directly impacted in this troop and bring them in and get them alongside our people. I can't do it alone. I've got an incredible team here next to me. We're gonna try and do our very best to care for each other, to care for the Campbell family, to properly honor Ben's service and his sacrifice, and do everything we can so that the public has a chance to honor him for that as well. And it'll be a day at a time. It'll be a day at a time. It'll be pulling up door to door, you know, talking to each other, and getting through this. And we'll do that, and we'll honor Ben moving forward. This will be a day that every member of this agency remembers. You know, these are our friends, our colleagues, our classmates, and it cuts deep.
As you've gone through the day, hearing from people that knew Detective Campbell, can you tell us a little bit about what he was like, his disposition, climbing through the ranks, things like that?
Yeah, he had a textbook smile. He was a guy that truly, when I say he was one of our best, he always saw the good in whatever was going on. He always focused on the positive, and when he stepped in, the smile was just part of him. And I had chances to meet with him, including at his promotion, and I've shared with people that when he had a chance to introduce you to his wife Hillary, he just glowed. He glowed. He was so proud and loved her so much, and he introduced you to her, and you'd think he'd just won the lottery. He took such great pride in his marriage, in his new son, and you know, he was a guy that was always going to see the good in people, and he was a great polygraph examiner because people would talk to him. People would talk to him, and he cared, and that's why he stopped today. That's why, although, you know, he was headed to be an instructor at a training assignment, he didn't hesitate. He saw that person there in need of assistance, and that became his priority. Assisting that person, protecting them from, you know, a potential impact to them, and he didn't know any other way to do it.
Thank you. Will your service be in Maine or Massachusetts?
Right now, we're hoping that it'll be in Maine. Again, those final details we'll know as soon as we can.
Thank you, Colonel.
Okay. Thank you very much.
The detective's photo is obviously in the back. Yes, I have.